Alright, welcome back again to another part analysis on GPPY. So the first thing to do in every market is to first of all figure out the current direction of the market, what we should be looking to do. So once we've been able to figure out the exact direction the market is trending to, before we can look for before we can proceed to the next thing. So in every market, the first thing to do is to figure out the market direction, the current market direction. So from what we can see, from we are on the daily time frame on GG. So you can see like the current market structure, what the current market structure is showing us, like it's not really this the trend is not really, the market is not really giving us a clear trend either to the downside or to the upside. But from the look of what we can really still figure out from this structure is, from the daily time, the market is still pointing to the downside. So what I do from this point here is I want to mark my daily structural high and daily structural low. Now from the look of things, this is our daily structural high, this is our high, and this is our daily structural low. So from this point I can say the market is at least still pointing to the downside due to this aggressive displacement of price to the downside. So previously, which caused break of structure to the downside, and you can see from the previous price structure, you can see that the market is still, at least was still making was still like creating structure to the downside before we had this push to the upside, which at least appear to look like the market is changing trend, and it's changing its trend from being bearish, which we had a shift in market structure. I think right about let me just place it in here. Before we had a shift in market structure to the upside, appearing that like seem like the market want to this push to the upside before we have this massive bearish drop to the downside. So at this point, so what we can expect is we can still expect a further drop in the market to continue. If the market indeed want to continue the trend, the bearish move, we still expect further move to the downside. But looking at the range, what we can observe here is after this aggressive drop in price, market came and start consolidating around level. So we have a massive bearish move, and you have weeks of price trading in a range, this consolidation. So that's what we are currently seeing on GG. So since before the consolidation, since the market is trending to the downside, pushing to the downside, and what we can still expect, what we can anticipate is we can anticipate the price to break and continue the bearish move. That's one of the things we can anticipate. If we can That's what that's the thing we can anticipate. So let's at least scale down to lower time frame to see how the market is actually moving to the downside. So from the 4 hour time frame, what we can figure out, this was the daily structural high which formed a kind of double top before this bearish move to the downside. So at this period, I did not really find any confluence to place any trade. So the market was at least was dropping rapidly to the downside, so I did not really find any way I can jump into it. So I was patiently waiting for any pullback and continuation. Later we have this. So from the forward, you can see that the market is clearly on a downtrend. It's more obvious that we have this before we have this bullish spike to the upside. So once we have this bullish spike to the upside, well, okay, since if indeed the market want to continue its bearish move to the downside, I'm waiting for I can't just, after this bullish, I can't just jump in and take a sell trade. So I was waiting for a confirmation to take a sell trade to the downside. So let's go to the 1 hour. So from the 1 hour time frame, what we can see is we had a double top. This is a top, like a double top for me. This is a double top for me, signaling that the market want to sell. So if indeed the market want to continue the bearish move to the downside, what we anticipate is we expect this double top to come and break the structure to the downside, come and create a break of structure. This was the lowest point, right? So after this pullback, we expect a break of structure to the downside. So let's see how. One thing I do is, since we are anticipating this move to come all the way down here, so what I do here, I can read the internal structure to see how the market is flowing down to come and break structure. If possible, I can do re-entry to catch the move to the downside. So let's see how the move goes. So what we'll do here, we'll scale down to the lower time frame. Let's go to 30 minutes. If here on the 30 minutes, what we can see here, our focus here is on this bearish move that we're anticipating to come and break structure. So this is the high, low, and now it's creating an internal structure here. A high, a low, a high, a low, a high, a low, which is building bearish momentum to the downside. So what we see here is we have this low. This was the last break of structure. I'm not talking about entry now. Just let's assume we have take our first entry from the double top. And what do we anticipate after a break of structure? What do we anticipate? A pullback. This is the pullback. Now we had a pullback. What do we expect? A break of structure to continue the trend. But we had if but what happened here? We create a double top, double bottom. at this point here. We'll create a double bottom at this point here. So what does this signal? This signal that this bearish move that we're anticipating to come and break a structure is creating a failure, is failing to come and break the structure. So the next thing we saw is after a double bottom came and break structure to the upside, which is the first break of structure to the upside, which is first break of structure to the upside with market structure shift. So what do we anticipate after a market structure shift? We anticipate a pullback. So now what we see here is we had a pullback. We had a pullback to tap into the demand level and second break of structure this to the upside. Now this is a signal that the market don't want to continue a bearish move to the downside again, but at least it's a shift that the market is not continuing and is pushing to the upside. So you can anticipate that since we had a failure swing here, failure swing, the next level, once we have shift structure, next level target, we can target this high. So that's why we had, but as long as price still within this high of the pullback, you can see the market is still bearish because this is the high that we're anticipating to cause a break or structure downside. Price can easily pull back to this level, test it again and start dropping. So what happened here? We had bullish structure pulling back to the high. So what we have here is we had, once price came close to a little bit shy away from it, we had a shift in market structure. We had a shift in market structure. Market tap into the demand, push up again. Shift in market structure, pull back again. The supply zone right about here. So this is where we are currently, I think so. What you can expect further drop in price. So wait for next week to have a clear direction. So what my anticipation process is, after this push to the upside, expect a push to the upside, but now the market is still form of not giving us a clear direction yet, and it's like kind of trap within this level. Can either push up or push down. So normally my approach to trading is to look for a sell from level of, if it's a downtrend, to look for level of supply and sell. That's why we have this. Most of the time, at least I've tried to inculcate the 2 hour. Most of the time is the 4 hour. Scale down to 1 hour to find the level. Now what I did. See is 2 hour. So this is, so observing from the 1 hour, 4 hour, what you can see here, most of the time I look my structure from the, for what you can see here, we have an imbalance here, right? A buy here. I look for 4 hour order block with imbalance. Balance here. We have one here. So what I do from here is to scale down to the 2 hour. That imbalance is still there. So if you come to the 2 hour, what you can see here, that upper zone is kind of looking valid, and this zone is kind of not really meeting all the criteria, but you can see scale down to the 1 hour too. So like all these kinds of can look, since the zone is like more than 20-30 pip, don't whatever thing we're doing in the market now is no matter what, we don't reach more than 30 pip. I see that it's more than 30 pip. Second zone here, more than once it's more than 30 pip, we go for confirmation entry. More than 30 pip. So what we can do here, you can see scale down to the 1 hour. So coming down to the 1 hour, you can see that we have an before the zone, we have an imbalance here. Yeah, that 4 hour zone is not looking like, from the 1 hour it's not looking pretty good. That imbalance is not there again. So these are the two zones I'll be looking to focus on, depend on the direction that the market give to us in the following week. So 1 hour, I can go to 30 minutes. These are my zone. Place trade. So let's see how the market will going to play out for the following week.